YouTube, my name is Dan and welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. Today, we are going to talk about the Google of blockchain, known as the Nebulas project, and its huge potential. Over the last few years, the world has seen a dramatic increase of blockchain projects to now over 2,000 projects with the value of global assets amounting to over $90 billion. With the popularity of blockchain technology, more blockchain-based application scenarios are emerging. For example, Ethereum community introduced the concept of smart contract to blockchain technology. Ripple implemented a global settlement system using blockchain technology. With the new mass volume of dApps, decentralized apps, coming into the market, it can be hard for new projects to find the best templates and smart contracts they can use. Nebula steps in here with the aim to build a search engine for blockchain applications and smart contracts, i.e. to say, the Google of blockchain. So how does it work? There are four pillars to the Nebulas project. If you understand these four pillars, you understand Nebulas. The first pillar is the Nebulas ranking. Nebulas will give each dApp a ranking. It does this by considering three dimensions: liquidity, interoperability, and propagation of the address. The sum score of these three dimensions will be known as unit of repetition. A higher the unit of repetition represents the dApp or smart contract is being used more and thus is more valuable to the crypto community. The more valuable it is, the more highlighted it becomes on the search engine, which makes it easier for a newcomer to pick the good technology over the not so good technology. The long-term upside value of the ranking system then is a filter effect that filters the great from the not so good technology or smart contracts, meaning we will see more and more applications built using only the great templates, resulting in Nebula's platform being known for outstanding projects. The second pillar is the Nebula's force. Currently, many blockchain projects have forks. The forks occur because the current system is unable to keep up with the demands, and there is a difference in opinion about how to go about the upgrade that is needed. But Nebulas is trying to have foresight here by building from the very start a system that can self-evolve to achieve faster computing, better resilience, and enhance user experience with minimal intervention, thus nullifying the need for any future forks. In Nebula's system architecture, base protocols will become part of the data on the blockchain and achieve upgrade through the addition of data. As for smart contracts on Nebulas, upgrade is made possible by enabling cross-contract access to state variables at the bottom layer storage of smart contracts. So it's all a bit technical, but basically they have found a way, or they claim to have found a way, to make Nebula self-evolving. And if that happens, Nebulas will have a huge advantage over other public blockchains in terms of development and survival potential. It also then allows developers to respond faster to loopholes with upgrades and prevent huge losses caused by hacking. The third pillar of the Nebulas project is called Developer Incentive Protocol, or DIP. DIP is in essence, as its name suggests, an incentive. In order for a good community to be established for Nebulas, Nebulas will express appreciation to outstanding smart contracts by rewarding them with NES or Nebulas tokens. An excellent smart contract depends on how many users are willing to use it. The more users, the greater the reward. But also, high-value accounts with better smart contracts will also get better rewards. And the rewarding will be done weekly. This is huge because it means that they are not about creating competition, but really about rewarding or incentivizing good performance. Otherwise, they would just have a yearly big reward for projects to compete with statistics. But it's not a stats game, it's just an incentive reward to perform better. Back in May 2017, they did an experimental run to test if it really was accurate in picking out the top performers. The page is found in their white paper, as you can see here, but as you can see, the top ranking contracts are more famous and more active in the circulation cycle, which is in line with their original intention of motivating the eco builders. Now, the last pillar of the Nebulas project is called their proof of devotion. Blockchain projects run off consensus algorithms. Consensus algorithms is done by miners and it helps to ensure that the next block in a blockchain is the one and only version of the truth, and it prevents derailing of the system or forking. The two most famous consensus algorithms are Bitcoin's proof of work and Ethereum's recent proof of stake. Recent because Ethereum used to use proof of work, but earlier this year they changed to proof of stake using the Casper system. You can take part in this validation step to help the system to do the work, and in reward be given a reward of tokens. This is called mining or staking, depending on the name of the consensus algorithm used. Now, Nebulas uses a very unique consensus algorithm known as the proof of devotion. To participate in this, you have to be a developer of a DApp or a decentralized app. To be a validator, though, you will need to stake a deposit of X amount of tokens, and then multiple validators per transaction will have to agree on the result, and each of them will be rewarded 1.5 times the amount staked. The master nodes of this system are called bookkeepers. They are chosen based on Nebula's ranking score and offer a chance to be bookkeepers based on, again, offering a deposit. The full details of bookkeepers and this whole proof of devotion process is not actually fully released yet, so we still expect more details in the future, and some of the information that I provide to you today may have changed by then. Okay, enough technical stuff. Let's look at the team. The team is very impressive. The founder of this team, Mr. Hita Su, was also the founder of Neo, who was also the director of Ant's financial blockchain platform, which is Alibaba's financial arm. As you go down the list, there is more and more links with Neo and Alibaba, people from Dolphin Browser, IBM, Airbnb, US, Google, and so on. It's a very, very impressive team. The only question I have is, how do they look so young? I mean, look at this guy, Xu Shang. He looks like he's in high school. But apart from that, there you go. This is a very solid team with the secret to youth. If they were in skincare business, I'll put all my money on them. You can also see on their website their list of partners. Recent notable partners including Gifto, which is the child project of UpLife, with millions of users, and Dolphin Browser, which is not on this list because it was only added this week, so it's not updated yet, but it's no surprise because it's a very core part of their team's resume, has also joined them this week. And Dolphin Browser is a mobile browser with over 200 million users, so it's a very probably the biggest partnership to date. So on the whole, they have many decent partners with lots of room to grow, but not bad considering right now they are only at the testnet stage. So their roadmap goes to the end of this year, and some of the things we can look forward to this year. Coming up very soon in March at the end of first quarter will be the release of their mainnet launch. So this is going to be huge, and this will come with the wallet, of course. And then the next major development in their roadmap is only at the end of the year. That's sometime in fourth quarter, November, December. And that's the self-evolving function release. So this is also going to be huge. But the gap between first quarter and last quarter is quite significant. So as an investor, there is nothing wrong with this. But as a trader, this is a bit boring. And so in the meantime, between first quarter and fourth quarter, the only thing that they would really be relying on to boost the token of the price would be relying on new partnerships. So there might be a temptation for people then to take their credits out to go and play with other altcoins and come back later towards the start of the fourth quarter. Now, a few points of potential concerns that I may have with this project. First is with the Nebulas ranking. The first and bigger players into the platform may get a higher unit of reputation. However, newer technology which starts smaller in ranking may be drowned by the already high unit of reputation of the existing older dApps. The same it is with the proof of devotion. It is likely that because it relies on a ranking system, bigger and more prominent companies with higher ranking will also stand a higher chance for the bigger returns. And so the smaller new players may not be able to get much reward from the proof of devotion. which means this: any weakness in the ranking system will similarly be reflected in the proof of devotion system, because the proof of devotion relies on the ranking system, and this may make Nebulas only attractive to the bigger players. The other concern that I have is the self-evolving feature of the Nebulas project is only due to be released in Q4. So right now it's still too early to definitely say that it will succeed. If it doesn't succeed, it's going to be a big blow to the team, and this is a very new technology that no one really knows for sure will work. But given the solid team, this is unlikely to happen. The upside to this, I guess, is that when it is announced, they will have the first working self-evolving blockchain product, and their worth will then skyrocket because investors will love to see this self-evolving model. The next concern I have with Nebulas is that currently only 35% of their total token supply has been released, and this is unusually low, because usually it would be about 60 to 65%. So right now the amount that is released is about less than half of what you would expect from a normal token. The way they explain the reason for this low release so far is that it is to accommodate the developer incentive protocol rewards, because they need to give incentives, so they need to have a large store value. And while I understand that, the question then becomes, what happens when one day they do reach 100% supply and they still have to give the incentive protocol rewards? Is the system not sustainable then? Because the whole system at the moment is very reward based. Also, with almost 2/3 of the tokens still to be released, will this hinder the price inflation of the token? As a trader, as a short-term investor, that's what I want to know. Because theoretically speaking, releasing more tokens lower the price of the token. Now, my last and not so positive comment is about the logo. I am very superficial, and this logo is super plain. When I first saw this logo, I thought, is this the black and white version? And I was trying to look for the colored version, but there is no colored version. And I'm not trying to be rude, but this logo looks like it was a primary school kid drawing and forgot to color it. I personally don't think it's great enough representation of a $300 million company that's aiming to be a multi-billion-dollar company. It just doesn't look like much effort was put into it. And apparently this logo is a new logo. It's only a few months old. This wasn't even the original. So oh dear. I'm sure they can do better, and I personally hope that they will have a logo rebrand soon. Okay, finally, let's talk about price and price prediction. At its lowest in the fourth quarter of 2017, Nebulas was sitting just around the price of $1.60. At its highest, at the start of January, it was just over $15. So that's a 9 times gain. Currently, it's sitting at $8.71, which is just over 5 times of its lowest, and it's about 65% of its peak. That's not bad considering the bearish run the whole market has had over the past 6 weeks. There are many coins which have been hit harder than Nebulas. It's also a good sign, this sideways movement, that despite the difficult bearish run that we had, many investors still believe in the project and are holding. The other thing about Nebulas is that it hasn't hit any of the major exchanges yet. At the moment, it's on OKEx, UOB, Gate.io. It hasn't even hit KuCoin, which is surprising considering it's number 64 on the market. So that's something we can look forward to. And when it does, I'm sure the price will go up. Everyone's hoping for KuCoin next, and then maybe Binance after. That's what every coin is holding out for, Binance, because that's when there's this sudden price rocketing. The truth is, it's really hard to price predict for Nebulas because it's such a unique project with nothing to compare it to. But given the niche market, the strong leadership and the team and the partnerships they are making, I certainly see it as a top 50 crypto, maybe even top 30 by the end of the year. If it was top 50, that would have a 1.5 times gain, and if it was top 30, that would be a 4 times gain. So we're looking, well, as a very rough guess, 1.5 to 4 times guesstimate, and that's playing safe and conservative because, again, this is a guesstimate, part guess, part estimate. But even if the guesstimate was really off, I don't really see this project dying. It's got a great team behind it, and it's already got a testnet that's working and partners jumping onto its testnet. In fact, the partners that are jumping onto the testnet seem to be getting bigger and bigger partners, which is a good sign. So I think it's got a great future. Now, I don't actually hold any Nebulas at this point. This review was done on the request of two of our viewers, but it is very tempting and I'm still considering if I want to take up a position in Nebulas. Now, if I was to personally get into a position, what would I do at this point in time? I'm thinking that right now I would probably wait a few days to see if the general market drops, because as we covered in yesterday's crypto news in a nutshell, we are facing a potentially bearish trend at the moment. So if that's the case, I'm going to just hold off and try and jump on when the market's a bit lower and a slightly further discount. However, we have to keep in mind as well that mainnet is just around the corner. We know it's going to happen in first quarter. We don't know when. It could be the first week of March. It could be the fourth week of March. So if I want to hold off, then I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on the social media announcement so that I don't miss out on the FOMO when the news is released. The other thing I just wanted to mention about mainnet release is, for some reason, I've noted that with several other coins, example Quantum, leading up to the mainnet, the price would rise, but once it hit mainnet and the mainnet was released, the price actually dropped. I'm not sure why this happens. Maybe it's because when mainnet is released, there's always a lot of confusion about the token swap. So I'm not really sure why this happens, but it seems to be happening with the last few mainnet releases that I've been following. So I probably won't hold beyond the mainnet launch. I will probably sell it around that time, and then I'll go and play with some other altcoins in between to hopefully make a bit of profit, and then come back with a better position when everything settles, and then hodl it to the end of the year when the self-evaluation function is function is released. Well, that's what I'm thinking now anyway. So that's my 5 cents on Nebulas. I hope you found this helpful. If you like this review, do drop us a like and subscribe, and also do let us know if there are any good coins or projects that has caught your eye and you would like us to do some homework on it. We try to prioritize your requests because if it's important to you, it's important to us, and it will be good for us to share good projects with the rest of the community as well. So thank you once again for joining us. Have a great day, and we will catch you next time.